So you're telling me that this episode had instruments, it had music, it had Pinkamena, and it had depression. This is episode of the year right here, boys.
Yo, it's your boy John and Uridophone.
Hey, it's your boy,
Celtic
Split
Klingon.
Penis.
Am I
What?
wrong?
You're not incorrect.
We got to be intellectual about this shit, you know.
Yeah. So this was an episode I actually was not spoiled on, and this episode's been around. Has apparently been out for a bit of a while,
Mm-hmm.
and I put on this episode, and it's one of those episodes where where five of the main six are acting kind of like assholes for no reason, and
Mm-hmm.
and I walked out of this episode going, it's good, but I just kind of wish it was not longer, but there were certain things I just wish were expanded on. We'll get into that as we go. So,
Mm-hmm.
episode starts out, and I think we all reach a point in our lives where either we or one of our friends gets passionate about music. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
you've ever met has either wanted to play an instrument, played an instrument, could play an instrument, can play an instrument, and or wanted to be in a band. And Pinky gets this ukulele this for sure this for sure nurker. I don't know what the hell the thing's called. All I know is like it's an accordion tuba on steroids. I thought the homeboy cheese sandwich was gonna show up because the thing just looked like it was some kind of weird abortion of Weird Al. And
Well, I think it was called the Uridophone. And I'm
I
just
like to, I
they're
like to
fucking bagpipes with an actual like pig stomach for the bag. You know, it's that it kind of like flopped all over the place and it's kind of squishy. It was really weird.
no, I didn't. I didn't notice that, John.
Well, yeah, it gets to haunt your nightmares tonight. Awesome.
So,
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
so literally the whole time, the whole gimmick for half the episode is she's so stoked on this thing, she's being annoying and playing it to everyone everywhere. Now again, we all reach that moment where we're so stoked or someone's so stoked on their instrument they want to show somebody. Problem is that Pinkie Pie is not the greatest at the is not that great at the Weird Al Afterbirth. So they
Honestly, all I could think of was was like when I was watching this with my wife, I was thinking Pinky sounds like Squidward right now when he plays his clarinet.
that was the other thing because of the way the instrument is. It sounded like she was just doing a really bad cover of "We Are Number One." Like I literally expected her at one point to go. We are number one. Hey,
May you rest in peace, Stefan.
Godspeed, you god tier me, man. Seriously, I was sad when I saw because he helped bring I shouldn't say bring memes back from the dead, but he helped breathe new life in the memes. You know, Smash Mouth is great, but they weren't going to cut it forever. You know what I mean? So
they were the kind of music group that they worked well for all those like Shrek memes and shit.
yeah,
But they weren't going to last longer than what DreamWorks could pump out of the Shrek series in general.
You know what's funny is people are like, "Oh, Smash Mouth is famous because of Shrek." Actually, that song was a hit and was everywhere like a year before Shrek, and they were already getting some mainstream attention because of their second album had that really big song of theirs, "Walking on the Sun" on it. So technically, they were already a big band before Shrek, but they're remembered for Shrek. That's gotta suck, right? I mean, that's like
Like their music gets eclipsed by a movie.
that's like thinking of everything John Williams has done in his career, you know, for all the various movies, but then just being like, hey, remember that time he did the soundtrack to Jaws and only caring about that one simple chord, the dun done when he's done superhero stuff, he's done the Star Warses, and it's just like, come on.
I mean, hell, he's for goodness sake, he has done fucking Harry Potter, which is one of the craziest soundtracks I've heard from him. Which, speaking of that, did you notice in Chamber of Secrets when they're doing the Quidditch match, it sounds just like Star Wars when they're in the rafter area?
I don't know what you're talking about. Well, yeah, I mean,
then again, that movie and Attack of the Clones came out the same year. They both came out in 2002.
I don't ever want to hear anyone talk shit about Chamber of Secrets again.
Oh no, I didn't think it was like it's
no.
Movie.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, but because I'm saying that everyone always gives that movie and book shit, but like I'm like, okay, that came out literally the same year as the worst Star Wars movie, so like,
at least we got a better movie, a better nerd movie.
Yeah, no kidding. So, and so the main five, they're like, okay, guys, bro, I dead ass, I'm not quite sure what to do right now, and.
Can I play the Eurydiphone again?
So what I thought they were going to do, from what it sounded like they were going to do, was they were going to talk to Pinkie Pie, calmly tell her she's not that good, but then offer something like, oh, how about you take lessons, whatever. And then the episode Vince Russo's my ass and swerves me, and it's just like, and I'm paraphrasing, but they basically say, hey, bro, you suck at your instrument. Can you, like, never play it again? And I'm watching this, and I'm like, dude, that's not cool, bro. Like,
it sounds just like the apology from Maud Pie.
I'm just saying, it's like, I watched that scene of them telling her that, and I was just like, oh my god, because like being the bassist, you're gonna put up with probably more critique than any other member of your band. And just like, man, I'm putting myself in her shoes, and like if my boys had told me, hey, your bass playing sucks, can you like never touch bass again? And I'm just like, I probably would have lost my color and had my hair gone straight too. Although,
well, I'm thinking just like, hold on a second. We'll touch base with you, but in terms of talking, not in terms of music playing.
Yeah, yeah.
So, trust me, I've had that shit too. I was in a band in high school as the drummer, and for some reason, they just pull out the bullshit of, you don't coincide with how we play. Literally, the band fell apart a couple days later.
Okay, quick question.
Without me, because they couldn't find anyone else.
Weren't you guys a Christian rock band?
Something like that. It was stupid.
Yeah, and you're like a good boy, a good Christian boy. How in the hell did you not go on with that? That doesn't make sense.
I know. Anyway,
I'm just saying. I've seen Kingdom Hearts video games make more sense than that.
Yeah. So anyway,
yeah. So
I love how when Pinkie goes straight haired and her color goes, I'm just like, first of all, pick him in a diet buys back. Yes.
Took him 8 years.
Yes. But I'm also thinking, wait a second. Her color's gone, so she looks like the discorded version of her with straight hair. And second of all, everything around her fucking dies when she walks past it. She goes by a flower stand, and all the flowers just wilt instantly.
Give me a D. Give me an E. Give me oppression. What's that spell?
Depression.
She's got it bad, bro. I mean, at least, right? At least with Party of One, she just thought she didn't have friends anymore. In this case, she's like, well, I got friends, but they think I suck, which is kind of worse if you think about it. So she and she's just she's completely wrecked. And then the main five try to cheer her up, and it's the most intentionally, I could tell it's intentionally, but it's the most cliche stuff with very simple metaphorical symbolism. They try to get her to put on a smile and get her to do things she likes, but she's not into it because she's really out of it because her feelings are hurt. And then just without going too overboard, without going too neckbeard about it and analyzing everything about it, it's like it was simple, and that's why I liked it. It was a simple. I'm not even saying this was a simple representation of depression, the mental illness, or even a depressed person. This was a good representation of someone that had their feelings hurt.
Absolutely.
And I really gel with that. Now, Pinky moving away to Yakistan or having Maud get her stuff, that was a little extreme. I mean, it was her friends, not her parents. And and they're like, "Oh crap, do you think we went too far?" And they're like, "Yeah, how long do we have left in the episode?" "About 5 minutes." "Okay, I think it's time for the moral." So they go to Yakistan, right?
Yeah, and I love how they talk to Maud throughout this whole thing, and
that
she's just
exchange
giving
was
the
great.
barest bones answer. It's like, what happened to where's Pinky's stuff? It's on the wagon. Why are you taking Pinky's stuff? Because she asked me to. She's moving to Yakistan. What the fuck? It's like all because we told her that she shouldn't like COD anymore because it's become such a sellout. And even though she was just like, but COD Zombies is still fun, and you're just like, no, you're just hanging on to your threads of nostalgia that don't even matter anymore.
They're just like, man, was she really that pissed that we didn't really fall in line with her theories regarding Last Jedi and its artistic intentions? So Pinky just blocked all her friends.
Should have been a Kenobi, I know it.
So Pinky just blocked all her friends on Twitter and Tumblr, right? And so she's retreated back to LiveJournal, old school LiveJournal and Facebook. So she's looking up stale memes at a bar, and she's sitting there right on her phone, and she's just like, man, memes from 2016 were way better than memes today. And then the girls are like, hey, look, our bad, go play your heart out, but I suck. And then they're like, hey, as long as you're having fun, that's what's most important. And then that's when it hit me. This whole episode was just one big allegory to starting a grindcore band. It's now, like, does it sound good? Not necessarily. Is it fast? Yes. Do people have fun when they play it? Yes. There you go.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. There's two things in this scene that I love. The first one is when she's at the bar area and she keeps getting served ice cream, and she's like, "Give me another." But Pony already had 25 of them. I said, "Give me more." Damn. And then I love how the yak that's playing the Eurydiphone on stage just kind of is just like, I'm going to get off this stage and hand it to Pink Pony. Make sure you watch it for me. I'm going to walk away now. Bye. Just like so oddly specific. She gets up there, she starts playing, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, yaks are just Klingons. Just saying that now. They keep crying over their own music.
So the yak basically was like, never mind, here's Wonderwall. And they decide, and then Pinky goes up there, and then the yaks are like, Pony is effing sick with 2 C's. And Pinky's like, yeah, I got my smile back. And then her friend, and then Twilight's like, guys, I think we learned a very valuable lesson. And one of them's like, oh, is it that we should encourage our friends to pursue their passions, even if they may be rough at first? And Twilight says, what? Nah, dude, we should emotionally damage them until they find their safe space within another group of friends, and then slowly separate themselves from us because they realize how distant we've grown over the years. My Little Pony!
Well, they're just like, Pinky, we're sorry that we were saying that COD was dead, even though it is. We just want you to know that if you want to buy the DRM and you want to pay if you want to buy Advanced Warfare just to get Modern Warfare, that's okay.
They're just like, look, Pinky, I know that you had a lot of problems with how the last 2 hours of Last Jedi went down, but it's okay. It's okay. You can hate Rose and Luke's death all you want, because you know what? You have a safe space now.
And you
My
know
Little
what?
Pony.
Kathleen Kennedy's already on her way out, so yippee!
Is she?
I think so, something like that. Like she's been completely silent outside of a red carpet event for Solo right after Last Jedi up until now. She's been totally silent. And yet she was everywhere when Force Awakens was coming out.
Huh.
So it's interesting.
Maybe
But
Last
anyway,
Jedi. Well, maybe Last Jedi should have been a better movie.
now one thing I want to mention here.
Air
This is kind of a
horns, air
theorizing thing.
horns.
When she played the Eurytophone, the Yaks were all happy. And the guy that was playing the Eurytophone before came over and was like, "Yes, the Eurytophone is a musical instrument that gives you happiness. That is and it's in our culture that it is that it provides happiness." And I'm thinking, hold up a second. She said earlier in the episode that she thought that this thing was the best thing in the world, and she had the most, like, this was better than anything else, and it's her heart, soul, and strength is in this thing, and she loves it with all her heart. Yet when she gets it taken away, she goes nuts. She goes fucking full on Pinkamena. And I'm thinking, is there a magical element to this instrument that we're not being told about? That it gives her bursts of happiness, and then when it's taken away, she doesn't want it anymore. She doesn't have the will to live. Is it sucking her happiness out of her and only putting a little barrier around her so that she can still be happy when she's playing it, but when she's not, it's terrible? Just saying.
That sounds more like an allegory for video games or drugs than an instrument.
We'll just call it an anime and be done with it.
And honestly, you know what? That's not too far, because I remember you proposed that theory to me. To be completely honest, it's not too far fetched. I mean, maybe not as much as other people, but there are times when I'm like, man, I really miss the bass right now. Like, man, I really wish I have my guitar on me right now, because I just leave it at the practice space. So, it's like I don't know about it being like a musical succubi, but but feeling a sense of loneliness from not playing the instrument that you become attached to. I could buy that.
Yeah.
My little I was gonna give this one.
So, do you want to look up what's next week's episode?
Yeah. You want to give your rating for
it? This was an interesting episode. I actually liked it better than the other two episodes with the Yaks, mainly because the Yaks were not the center focus this time. Because honestly, just honest to God, never really liked the Yaks. They were kind of always a little bit too out there for me. Well, but I do enjoy this episode, so I give this a 7.5.
I was actually going to give it an 8.5. I really enjoyed this, but I'm a Pinkie Pie mark, so I mean that's probably some bias there. Okay,
so you're a Pinkie Pie fag. No, I'm just kidding.
So the next episode is written by a guy we haven't seen in a while. It's a Josh Haber episode.
Oh, hey.
It's The Road to Friendship. After a successful magic show in Ponyville, Trixie decides to do a tour in Saddle Arabia and take Starlight along. Okay, so it's lesbians next week. Awesome.
Well, oh my gosh. We're going to Saddle Arabia.
Oh, wait, holy crap, we're going to Saddle Arabia.
You know what? Get that fucking hat that you had when we did Magic Duel, and you're just going to be like, oh, Saddle Arabia? There are heirs if friendship is magic?
I just want you to know, I was more perplexed by the name, because Saddle Arabia, like, I'm not saying it's better than Manhattan, I'm sorry, I'm not saying it's worse than Manhattan, but it sure as hell isn't better.
Yeah. But I just remember that. Here, and for you guys out in the audience, that was actually the first time I saw snakeskin on camera. Was because we were both doing the reaction series, and this was when what was his name? Brony Bass Cannon, I think.
Yeah, that was his name.
Yeah, that Brony Bass Cannon was still doing the editing and stuff like that, and it was edited very similarly to Brony's React. And which actually, let me link that in the description because it's really fucking funny.
I can't watch
And
those. I can't watch those old videos I was in anymore. I just get too sad because I remember the good times, but I also remember like because I was friends with a lot of those guys. But I just think, man, we could have still been going, but the project got retired before we could
yeah,
even.
now, but
Yeah,
anyway, like I love Snakeskin's reaction part because it's like there's one point where like Spike goes into the basketball hoop when he's turned into a ball, and and you hear him go through, and Stacy's just like score.
yeah. I hate watching old videos of me because my acne really sucked back then. So.
Well, it was still awesome. That's how we reached out to him to do an interview.
I don't know if
And
I actually
look
ever
where we
told
are.
you. I don't know if I ever actually told you this. I actually didn't see you from the reaction videos first. If memory serves correct, I think I saw your and Brian's react, or not the whole thing, but because I mean, I'm not gonna watch two dudes on camera for 25 minutes. Miss me with that gay shit. But no, I'm kidding. But anyway, I think I saw your guys' reaction to Double Rainbow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and you guys were like, "Hey," but then afterwards, you guys were like, "Oh," and I was like, "Yeah, me too, me too." Hashtag me too.
Hashtag same.
Hashtag
But
big mood, big mood.
oh my gosh. So yeah, we'll see you guys next week. That's it from me,
Man, do you guys
John.
remember how much better the snowdrop animation was compared to
Oh yeah.
Double Rainbow? Like it wasn't as nicely edited, but man, can you? I just remember how much
Would you
better
walk
that
the
was.
fucking blind pony home?
I just
I'm
remember.
remembering Digi's video.
Oh yeah.
So we'll
Man,
talk
that
to you
was a
guys later.
really good video. Like it was Double Rainbow was just such a disappointment. Have I ever talked about that? Well, too late now, but one day.